push me away, then you're gonna lose the hips and you're gonna have to come up on the leg drag.
Okay.
But it's better to stay close and come up on the back.
The joke around the house is my daughter will come charging at me and suddenly punch me in the stomach, and I'll remind her that the rule is not daddy, go hit mama, she has abs.
She trains as hard as a professional fighter. She spends 3-4 hours a day here. And then she goes somewhere else, she does conditioning, she does yoga, she does everything that a professional fighter do for a professional fight.
I want this to be my livelihood. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I wish there were more women into Jiu-Jitsu. With the fact that women are now fighting in the UFC, more women are going to come to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it's great because it's never realistic when you fight with a man and then you go compete with women. Sometimes they try not to put too much strength on you, but they don't realize how women actually how tough they are. I just love doing it. I love the feeling of punching and kicking, and it was pretty good at it.
I think this arrived first, then the mats, then our little friend over here, the moldering geese around. She somewhere somehow found time to go to the gym and stay in remarkable shape. But I started to notice that she was enjoying the gym. She was enjoying kicking the shit out of guys at the gym particularly. And just started an escalation into full MMA training with an accent on Jiu-Jitsu, at which point it was pretty much becoming a full-time job.
She's on the same level as any other blue belt in the United States and in the planet. She went to Brazil as a white belt, and she beat a pre-season competitor as a blue belt. Ottavia was a white belt, she beat a blue belt, and then on her last Open she won one and she lost one. So she's up there. She's getting up there.
It's a never-ending learning. I mean, when you do kickboxing, you learn how to punch, you learn how to kick, throw knees and elbows, and then you perfection that. But with Jiu-Jitsu, there are new techniques to learn every day. You can make your own techniques. It's really mental. It's what they say. It's like a chess for your body. You really have to think. It's really intellectual. It's not just physical.
I wrestled a little in high school. I did judo. I took judo classes for a couple of years when I was like 13, 14. I get it. I like watching it. I understand why Ottavia does it, but at this point in my life, I'm more about a life of leisure during those moments when I'm not working.
I could have been like, just taking my husband's credit card and spend my days at Barney's and do my nails and do my hair, but no, I need to be busy. If I'm not busy, I'm going insane.
I very much like the idea that she can pretty much beat the crap out of anybody in any bar I walk into, or certainly submit them if they don't see it coming,
I grew up in Italy, in a small town, 2,000 people, Manerba del Garda. When I was a kid, I played sports in school, but I never done any kind of martial arts. I fell in love with an Irish musician. He got a contract in the US. I decided to follow him here, and my parents were like, okay, you're not gonna get any more money from us, so you're on your own. Do whatever you want, but you're on your own. Some friends of my ex-boyfriend found me a job in a restaurant business. A couple of days after I got here, I was already working, and I started out as a hostess, and I ended up as a general manager. So the moment I started working as a general manager, it became 14, 16 hours a day. I started working at Le Bernardin, where I met Eric Ripper, who's the one who eventually, years later, introduced me to my husband. So basically, he knew how much I was working. He knew how much my husband was traveling, and he thought we would be like the perfect match, for a one-night stand or, here and there, because we were both so busy. And he had no idea we were gonna, end up becoming serious, getting married and having a child. But yeah, he warned him. He was like, she's crazy, and he's like, hello, I mean, look at me. But what happened, he went to Beirut to shoot a show when the war started and they bombed the airport and he was stuck there and it was really dramatic. And when he finally came back, that very same day, that's when we conceived our child, because we were like, you know what, life is too short. So I worked until my contractions started, pretty much. I was going around in my high heels, up and down, greasy stairs, giving heart attacks to everybody because I would fall every 5 minutes. I just couldn't stop. So I had my baby shower at the restaurant, and a few days after I was in labor.
My daughter's already into this. She loves going to Gracie Academy with her mom. My daughter's 6. The day will come when little Timmy in the next desk is going to pull her hair. And I like the idea that she'll be able to fuck little Timmy up real bad. Jiu-Jitsu wise, she's pretty familiar with a lot of principles. I mean, they work on arm bars together, and I'm very happy that my daughter will be able to defend herself and not be inclined to take any shit from boys. And later, you know, with that kind of background, not be inclined to take any shit from men later in life. So, yeah, I'm very happy about that.
Being a jiu-jitsu instructor is the most gratifying profession you could have, because you change people's lives. You see a guy walking here with no training, and then he's shy and no self-esteem, and then after a few months of training, the guy, just by the way he walks into the door, is a totally different person.
Do you live out here now, or?
No, I live in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got her.
I actually did a seminar with your brother.
My brother?
Okay. Weeks ago.
Yeah.
I started watching, MMA fights, especially UFC fights on TV, but I never thought about doing any wrestling or jiu-jitsu. I just loved watching it, and I remember going to the Prudential Center for Gina Carano's fight. It was 2008. And I was like, whoa, girls can do that. It's great. It was really inspiring, but I still was not convinced about trying groundwork myself. And I tried, and I loved it, even more than Muay Thai. This is like my second house, although sometimes it feels like it's my first house because I spend more time here than at my real house.
I'm not afraid she's going to get hurt. A, because I'm confident that she won't. B, she doesn't really care, She kind of likes it. She came home with a big black eye. I think she'd complain, but she'd be walking around feeling pretty cool.
Her strength is definitely her athleticism. She's very athletic, she's strong, her cardio is good. She can roll for over an hour non-stop. She's smart, she picks up stuff really well.
I like to be muscular. My husband hates it, but for me, a woman with a lot of muscle is beautiful. I like to have definition, I like to have a six-pack, I like to have, big thunder thighs, and I like to have a big neck, and my husband hates it because for some reason, the first thing that gets big is my neck, and it's like,
If I get in a tussle with somebody, it better be over in 3 or 4 seconds, or, it's going to be, my prospects are not good,
Definitely, my final goal would be opening an academy with affiliated, obviously, with Enzo Gracie, who is my inspiration and role model. I wake up and I'm restless. When I come here, I'm like, bah, bah, bah. And everybody's like, okay, let's get ready for Ottavia. And, and I roll until I can't take it anymore, yeah.